All right. Hope everyone is still hanging out. Welcome to the regular Get Your News On with Ron stream. Let's see. Let's see if we're waking up. Let's see if we're waking. All right. YouTube is up. What's up, YouTube? Good to see you again. What's up, Rockfin? We got it. Oh, man. I am going to like this new system. For those of you who aren't in the know, we're doing the regular Get Your News On with Ron stream and the patron stream basically right next to each other. We're going to do the regular stream first and then the patron stream. Today, I said this morning, it's morning where I'm at. It's not morning everywhere. Today, we did it backwards. We just did the patron stream, which is the general, fun, casual chat. And we're going to do the regular Get Your News On with Ron now. The reason we're doing it this way this time is because I am going to hop on to Status Quo's election special after this. So hang out with me for a bit and then come join me over on Status Quo. It's going to be a fun time. It's a lot of me on your internet today. I am flooding your online video. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. But this is the regular Get Your News On with Ron stream. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening, good day. This is the first day of the new format of the new Get Your News On with Ron format. So we're coming at you on Sundays. Now, I just started it, and I'm going to have to switch it up real quick because Lucian the Satirist got his first fare. He will be in Fresno next weekend. So anyone in the Fresno area, come check out Lucian. I'll be plugging that again at the end of the show, but come check out Lucian at in Fresno. Go to the Fresno Renaissance Fair. It's just the Kearney Renaissance Fair is what it's called, Kearney. And I'll be there Saturday and Sunday doing my performance as Lucian the Satirist. I don't know my set times yet, but if you just go to the fair, they have an entertainment schedule. Look for Lucian the Satirist. That is where I'll be, and I will see you there, and it will be a darn good time. So very stoked for that. But because of that, the regular Get Your News On with Ron stream will not be on Sunday next week. So we just started a new thing. We're already deviating from it. But when I'm not on the road, the Sunday thing's going to work out well. When I am on the road, we'll just pick out a different day. That's how it'll work. We'll just pick out a different day. That simple. So anyway, what's up? Good to see everybody. We got a fun show for you today. The biggest strike of 2022 might be happening. We're going to be talking about that. Howard Schultz, speaking of labor issues, Howard Schultz breaking the law again, potentially. We're going to dive into that. And we're going to talk about the Twitter thing. I mean, as a freaking digital rights oriented show, we have to not talking about Elon Musk. It's like not acknowledging the turd in the punch bowl. You got to talk about it. I've said my piece earlier this week. I wrote about it on my Substack, which please subscribe if you haven't already, ronplacone.substack.com. And I've talked about it on Status Quo, which I'll be hopping on there. For those of you catching this live, I'll be hopping on Status Quo shortly after this. And I'm talking about it. So now I'm talking about it on Get Your News On with Ron. So, it's run its gamut for the week. Not much has changed. This is kind of where we're at. I think what most people predicted is coming to fruition. And we'll see what happens. Is this the beginning of the end for Twitter? It might be. Anyway, we'll do that. We'll do that in the middle. But first, let's start out with some good news, which is, not really the way I typically do things, but it's the way we're going to do things. So be it here. Let's take a look. Check this out. Are you ready? California. This is from Common Dreams. University of California academic workers overwhelmingly vote to strike. Tens of thousands of employees. This, by the way, again, would be the biggest strike of 2022 should it go through. Tens of thousands of employees at the University of California system voted, this was Wednesday night, to authorize what would be the biggest strike this year. And it's academic workers in a vote of 3. Oh, check out these numbers. So it was 98% to 2%. Here's the numbers just for you to get a gauge on what that is. 35,654 to 904. What's the deal with those 904 people? Aren't you curious? I'm curious. Like, what's their 98%, 2% were like, nah, we don't want to do this. 98% were like, we got to do this. 2 were like, nah, No, 2%, not literally 2. All right. Man, I'm just so I feel like something's going on if only not 2% don't want to strike. If only 2% out of everyone. So let's see what's going on here. We are taking this step because the university's unlawful bargaining practices are preventing us from reaching agreements on fair pay, affordable housing, and workplace equity for international scholars and working parents. Uh, we do the majority of teaching and research at UC, yet most of us are severely rent burdened because we are so underpaid. So I'm going to talk about, we've talked about this before when I covered the IU strike. Now, what was the IU strike? The IU strike, first of all, it happened at my alma mater, Indiana University, which, as somebody who loves that place and loves Bloomington, it always has a place in my heart. Um, I have mixed feelings about the whole thing because, on some level, you're happy that your school is leading a freaking labor effort, baby. That's freaking awesome. But on the other note, I'm sad that the university let it get to this point. It's kind of like a mix, like, well, there's a reason to be happy and a reason to be pissed off. But I guess because it's a national problem, I guess maybe that happiness overwhelms that sadness. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, it sucks that Indiana University's doing this. Well, yeah, but pretty much every university in the country's doing this. So in a way, it's more badass that they're leading the frickin' charge. You know what? I'm glad we talked through that. That I feel better about it now. I feel better about it now. So when we talked about the IU grad strike, which not many people talked about, by the way, this is one of the few shows that covered it. Um, we talked about how this is the way grad students work in a university generally. So you are part of the university's labor team. Like you are part of that faculty. The faculty relies on your labor. And what you get in exchange, you get a living stipend and then you get a tuition remission. So you don't have to pay tuition. And you're supposed to get health benefits and stuff like that. Now, given this model, I understand that a graduate student is not going to get the same salary as a faculty member. That makes sense. It's kind of like an apprentice style thing. They're working their way up. Okay, but they should be given a living stipend. It should be enough money to live and not enough money to survive, enough money to live. Because guess what? Their labor is relied on by the university. This isn't some internship where it's more of a learning experience for the person and they don't necessarily need to be there. They are part of the labor of the university. When I was a freshman, most of my teachers were grad students. The people grading the papers were grad students. The people assisting on the research were grad students. Later, when I became a grad student, I assisted on the research. My faculty advisors relied on me to do those jobs for them, to get it done. Their publications relied on it. That was my job. And in exchange, I got tuition remission and enough money to live. Well, now it's not even enough money to live. And by the way, I was barely getting paid a living wage. I mean, I was barely surviving. At the time when I was in grad school, I was doing stand up on the weekends, and that supplemented my income. If I was not doing stand up on the weekends, I don't know how I would have made enough money to afford rent. So I was luckier than most. But it's supposed to be a living stipend, and it's not. And that's why these grad students are saying enough is enough. We're freaking going on strike. Because it's supposed to be a living stipend, and it's not. So they're saying we've had enough. Now, we will find out on November 14th. Let's go back to the Common Dreams piece here. UAW 2865, which represents more than 19,000 ASEs across the UAC system. So here's the union's statement here. On average, ASEs spend over half of our income on rent, including those of us who reside in university housing. And ASEs are not alone. Postdoc, student researchers, academic researchers also face high rents and low pay. Now is the time to address compensation and the cost of living crisis to assure an equitable access to opportunity at UC without the work of ASEs, postdoc, student researchers, and academic researchers, the UC would not be one of the country's leading universities. So this strike could happen as soon as November 14th. They're going to see If they meet their demands, they're going to see if they can come to the table and reach a fair settlement here. And if they don't, this strike could be implemented as soon as November 14th. And see, absent of a resolution, the workers could start striking as soon as November 14th. It will be the biggest strike in 2022. This is where we're at, folks. And you know what? I don't play baseball, nor do I bowl, but boy, do I love strikes. And I hope they work this out and prevent this. But if not, I hope this strike happens and it is successful as hell, because this is what needs to happen. And by the way, you can tell a lot about a society, an awful lot about a society, by the way they treat education. You can tell a lot about a society by the way they treat labor in general, but education especially. And the way we treat education in the United States is nothing short of criminal. And it starts at kindergarten and it goes all the way through college. It is nothing short of criminal. We do not pay teachers fairly. We do not give them living wages. Most of the people I know in education are trying to get out of it. And that ranges from school teachers at the elementary level, at the high school level, and at the college level. Some of the most brilliant people I know who are professors in the sciences are trying to get out of academia entirely and are trying to go into industry because they're like, it's just terrible here. It's absolutely terrible. And that is so, so criminal. It is robbing young people of a quality education. It is robbing teachers of being able to do an important craft. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I think we're reaching a point. You're going to see a mass exodus of young people who are going to leave this country to get a college education, and they're going to stay. They're going to stay. We are going to see a huge mass exodus from the United States if something doesn't change quick. And I don't think it's going to change quick, not quick enough, at least. So because here's what happens. Young people who can even fathom being able to go to college, they're realizing that you can go to college overseas, and even factoring in the tuition costs and the travel costs, because tuition is either, for like residents, it's usually free or incredibly low cost. But even for international students, it's incredibly low cost. So it's something like, like maybe $500 a semester or something like that. It could be more in some cases, but, it's around that in most cases, which is nothing compared to what the US system is. So even factoring in living costs abroad and travel costs to go abroad, it is cheaper to go abroad for college than it is to go to college down the street from where you grew up in the country you're a fucking citizen of. How backwards is that? This is a failed state, y'all, and this is a frickin' empire. So we're going to see a mass exodus of people from the United States, of young people from the United States. They're going to leave. And that's just the way it goes, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, these days, even in my personal life, like whenever I hear about young people applying for colleges, I cross my fingers that they're applying somewhere abroad. I really do. So this is where we're at, folks. This is what an empire looks like. And this is what a fascist regime looks like, by the way. One of the early symptoms of fascism, which, by the way, the United States checks every single box. One of those early signs is a disdain for education, a disdain for creativity in the arts. We check the frickin' box, y'all. So here's hoping for a win here. Because, yeah, if things don't change, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be generations of young people who leave this frickin' country. So let's move on to the turd in the punch bowl, Elon Musk. Let's just, and I know you might have heard me talk about this already. So Elon Musk purchased Twitter, and what I predicted was going to happen is already happening. So here's what's going on. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now, some of Elon Musk's fanboys and gals, they think that Elon Musk is some free speech crusader who's going to bring free speech to the platform and is going to fix the problems of social media, which, by the way, I have plenty of complaints of the way Twitter currently is. I just am very confident Elon Musk is going to make it infinitely worse. because he has. And he's not some free speech warrior at all. Here's the deal. Elon Musk is a billionaire and he is a capitalist. And Elon Musk right now is the dog who caught the car. He said, "Oh, I'm going to buy Twitter. Watch this." Well, now he is. And he still was kind of on his high horse. I'm carrying a sink. Let that sink in. Har, har, har. I'm laying you off and I'm going to troll you while I do it. But here's the deal. Elon Musk has a lot of people who just don't like him who are getting off of Twitter now. Elon Musk also has a portion of his fan base. Now, I'm sure it's not all of his fans. I'm sure some of the Elon Musk fans, they're just into like crypto or investment or whatever. And, if that's your jam, that's your business. Go for it. Knock yourself out. I mean, I have some crypto myself. I'm not like completely against crypto, obviously. But some of Elon Musk's fanboys are white supremacists and incels. I don't know enough about Elon Musk to know why that is, to tell you the truth, but I think it's fair to say he definitely has some of that in his fan base. When he buys a platform and use of the N-word goes up by 1,500%, I think that's a clue. I think that's a clue. So this portion of his fan base feels emboldened now. So they're going to just spam the shit out of Twitter, which they've been doing. Now, some people, they don't want to see that. They don't want to log on to a social media platform and just see a bunch of racist stuff spewed everywhere. So they're leaving. It's a social media platform. They're like, gee, I come here for news and information, which is what most people use Twitter for, by the way. Twitter's already the smallest social media platform. It's already the smallest one compared to Instagram or Facebook because it's meant for news and politics. Now it's getting even more smaller because it's becoming, a little Elon Musk edgelord club. So people are leaving Twitter. Elon Musk has to answer to advertisers. What do advertisers want to see? Users. And they don't want to be associated with some things that could hurt their brand. It has nothing to do with free speech. It's just capital. They're just trying to sell stuff. It's capitalism, basically. So Elon Musk is really pissed off about this system that he celebrates, by the way. An advertiser saying, "I don't want to be affiliated with this anymore," has nothing to do with free speech. That would be like me saying every advertiser who doesn't buy ads on my podcast is violating my freedom of speech. That's how much sense that makes. To be like, "Oh, well, these advertisers don't stand for freedom of speech because they're not advertising on Twitter." That's not applicable here. Advertisers are just trying to sell their shit. They're looking out for their brand. And if they don't want to be affiliated with Elon's brand, they're going to pull their money. And by the way, he offers them the smallest platform already. If they can afford Instagram or Facebook or even, I guess maybe even TikTok at this point. I'm not sure the numbers on TikTok, but I know Facebook, Instagram, they're bigger than Twitter. And again, I'm just talking from an advertiser point of view. They're going to go to those places. So Elon Musk, well, what's his solution? Well, your free speech king decided he's going to now charge $8 a month to get verified. So you can get this thing, Twitter Blue, and for $8 a month, you get verified. Oh, and your tweets get preferential treatment. So if you don't pay money, you get shadow banned. Is that free speech? That's paid speech, isn't it? That's not free speech. Oh, by the way, I have comedian friends of mine who got permanently suspended on Twitter for making fun of Elon Musk recently. So it's free speech unless you make fun of him. Unless you make fun of him too hard. He don't like that. He does not like that. So for those of you who think that Elon Musk is some free speech crusader, you should be, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. You're just freaking wrong. He's not some free speech fighter. I don't know what to tell you. If you're an Elon Musk fanboy, I'd be surprised how you connect with this show, to be honest. But I guess maybe there might be some crossover. I don't know. But I'm telling you, he ain't some free speech crusader. I'm probably preaching to the choir right now. But Elon Musk is not some free speech crusader on every level. And by the way, we have free speech laws. I like the idea, and I've been saying this for the past 5 years. I'll say it for the next 20 probably because nothing will ever change. I think that all these social media companies should be made public utilities and they should have to follow the free speech laws of the United States. Period. End of story. Makes it easy. Easier. It's not easy. Free speech is a complicated topic, obviously. But we have free speech laws. These social media platforms should just have to follow them. Elon Musk, ironically enough, said he was going to do that. But how? He said there's going to be some board. Well, how is this board decided, Elon? Who elects it? What are their qualifications? Do people have a say in this? Are they elected? Or are they just decided by you? What's their qualifications? What's their criteria? Part of the problem of social media is that Silicon Valley is being your nanny. Well, guess what? That ain't changing, folks. Elon Musk ain't changing that. In fact, he's making it worse. And he's driving people off of Twitter. Why? Well, because again, some people just don't want to be on a platform, don't want to be on the platform anymore. And the other thing is, here's the other big thing. Not only do they not want to be on the platform, but the verification system, which definitely has its flaws. The way it currently is kind of annoying. But the whole thing with the verification system is that they could verify a quote came from a person. That's why every news article you see has a tweet from a person, from a notable person, be it a politician, a celebrity, whoever. They'll say so-and-so tweeted. And that's in like every news article you see. And that's part of what gave Twitter value. You knew that something was coming from a person. So more people joined Twitter because they want to be abreast of this stuff. They want to know, when the president is saying something right away. That was especially true when freaking Trump was on Twitter because that guy tweeted nonstop. Everybody wanted to be on top of that. So to just put the verification up for sale, you're going to have more impersonation, first of all. That's going to happen. And it's just going to completely devalue the whole thing. And hopefully these powerful people are like, screw you. We're not giving you $8 a month. People who have big followings, whether they're a politician, a celebrity, whatever, they don't need Twitter. Twitter needs them. They give Twitter its value because they can be directly quoted. So when you completely screw that system up, you're going to drive people off the platform. And folks, that is already happening. So that's what's going on with Twitter. If you think Elon Musk is some free speech crusader, you are either gravely mistaken or you don't understand what free speech is and how it works. And if you think Elon Musk is going to somehow make Twitter better, well, he is already making it worse. He is driving people off the platform because he doesn't know how to cater to advertisers, or he's having the conflict of interest of trying to please certain portions of his fan base and advertisers at the same time, which, by the way, folks, he's already siding with the advertisers. He's already saying, oh, don't worry, we're going to have content moderation, blah, blah, blah. So all you edgelords who thought Elon was your boy, go look at his freaking timeline. Go look at his timeline. So that's what's going on. Is Twitter over? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not over right now. Is this Twitter's MySpace descent? And by MySpace descent, I mean it's going down and it's going to go away. It might be. Yeah, I don't know. It's too early to tell. It is way too early to tell. It could be, yes. But we'll just all move on to what's next. I think that I like Twitter as a tool. It is a valuable tool. Now, if you don't pay $8 a month, you're going to be shadow banned all the time. So who knows? I've already seen my engagement go down significantly. I've seen my follower count go down some, and I think that's pretty universal across the board. I'm not verified, and I'm not going to pay $8 a month. So, I have a feeling like, yeah, it's going down. It is going down. But we'll see. I mean, it could bounce back. He could honestly, and this is just me given my analysis on a like personal brand thing. I think the best thing Elon Musk could do to save his brand, because now he has to be the bad cop, and he's not liking it. You can tell he doesn't like it. The best thing he could do for his brand is pull a Donald Trump move and play victim. He should just sell it, and he should be like, they don't want me to run Twitter the way I want to, and these advertisers, they're the woke mob, or whatever buzzwords he's going to throw at it. They're the cancel culture, they're the woke mob, and they don't want to cooperate with me. They don't want to let me make Twitter what it can be, so I have to go. I'm going to start my own platform. And then all of his, edgelord fanboys will be like, cool, and they'll go to Elon's platform. And then he'll just be able to play the victim. That's the same thing Trump does. That's the best thing Elon, again, talking strictly from a marketing standpoint, that's the best thing Elon Musk could do to save face right now. So we'll see if he does it. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll sell it. I don't know if he'll sell it or not. I guarantee you he's got buyer's remorse. I guarantee that. And yeah, there's going to be an increase in spam, an increase in bots, because a bunch of spammers are just going to buy verification now, which is going to kill the algorithms as far as news goes, because Twitter would at least kind of tell you what's trending and what's going on. Well, now you're going to get a bunch of spam accounts that are just, because what they do is they make up stuff like death hoaxes and shit like that to get people to click on things that, and sometimes it's spyware or worse. They're all going to buy verification now and just spam the shit out of Twitter. So now the algorithm is just going to be a bunch of fake death hoaxes. So journalists who relied on it to like give them a point of reference won't be able to rely on it anymore. So it's the platform. This could, if things don't change, let me put it this way. If things don't change, this is the beginning of the end. Things could still change, folks. It's only been, I mean, it's been like a week, less than that. But if things don't change, this is the beginning of the end. Now, here, ironically enough, before we get off the topic, here's a little bit of a silver lining. Elon Musk said Twitter DMs should have end-to-end encryption like Signal so no one can spy on or hack your messages. Now, he said this before he had Twitter. But Fight for the Future, which full disclaimer is an organization I collaborate with. Hi, Elon Musk, just checking on this. Will you reaffirm that you plan to make Twitter DMs end-to-end encrypted? Can you please give a timeline for how soon this will happen? This is the one of the most important things Twitter could do to protect human rights and free expression. I agree. I agree with Elon Musk's statement there, too, by the way. I don't agree with Elon on a whole lot, but I agree with him that our DMs should have encryption protection. Does Elon Musk still feel that way? Does Elon Musk still feel the way he did in April, or has his mind changed now that he's the one who can access your DMs? And looking at it big picture, folks, it should bother you that a billionaire, any billionaire, can just buy a platform that millions of people use and do whatever they want with it at will. That should bother you. Whether you like Elon Musk, whether you don't like Elon Musk, or anything in between, it should bother you. So that's why we need some antitrust. That's why we need some antitrust. Go to BidenPromise.us, sign that petition that demands that the antitrust bills be acted on during the lame duck session. Those are antitrust bills that will start breaking up big tech. Again, that is BidenPromised.us. BidenPromised.us. And also go to MakeDMSafe.com. MakeDMSsafe.com. MakeDMSsafe.com. And sign the petition that demands encryption across all of our social media platforms. If you're worried about big tech, as you should be, this is how we start fighting back. A lot of people use the buzzwords, but then they don't do anything about fighting back. Well, here on this show, we're all about fighting back. So, last story I wanted to cover today. This is a fun one. Howard Schultz. So Howard Schultz, since he got back on the Starbucks board, or I think he's like CEO again. He was gone and now he's back and blah, blah, blah. But he's been breaking the law left and right as far as like labor laws and as far as busting up the unions. Here's his most recent infraction. Check this out. This is something that Howard Schultz did. Labor board says Starbucks CEO Schultz's comment to pro-union worker was illegal. Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz's suggestion to a pro-union worker earlier this year that they should work somewhere else constituted an illegal threat. During a meeting between Schultz and Long Beach, California, right near me, by the way, Long Beach, California workers in April, Schultz told a pro-union worker, the pro-union worker was named Madison Hall, "I'm sensing a lot of anger from you about Starbucks." Now, Hall had been a leader of the union effort at the Long Beach store. So here's what Howard Schultz said to them. "If you hate Starbucks so much, why don't you work somewhere else?" Schultz continued. Hall later resigned. It had been Schultz's first week returning as CEO of Starbucks, a move the company made specifically so that he could lead their union-busting campaign. Labor officials have filed a complaint over Schultz's remark, saying that the CEO threatened employees with discharge by inviting employees to quit their employment. So that's illegal. According to the union, per the remark, Schultz had asked workers how he could help restore their trust in the company, to which Hall said that the company could lighten up, and become more transparent about its anti-union campaign. The worker was immediately silenced and told not to bring up the union movement. The union said in a press release. Now Schultz apologized on behalf of the employee to the rest of the group. That is gaslighting, by the way. That is gaslighting. The guy brings up the union. You're told to shut up. Don't bring that up. And then Schultz apologizes to the rest of their, oh, I'm sorry for this person. They're so out of line. I'm sorry for them. And then he says, oh, you should work somewhere else, which isn't legal. So not only did he gaslight everyone, he did something illegal. That's Howard Schultz. Boy, I wonder why his presidential campaign didn't work out. So we'll see what happens there. I hope now the Starbucks union effort is going well. They are unionizing stores by the day, and they have a huge union nucleus that is growing and growing and growing, and it's fantastic. I hope they're able to pursue some action here, and I hope they get this huge settlement from Howard Schultz that helps their cause even more. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that progresses. But here you go, Howard Schultz breaking labor laws again. Already, most of his anti-union efforts were illegal. Here's another one. He's threatening employees in a way that's not legal. I mean, well, it should be illegal to threaten employees completely, but this is a blatant labor law violation. Good job, Howard Schultz. Great guy. Great human. Folks, tour dates. I freaking got them. January 28th. Don't wait. Get your tickets now because there's an early bird special going on. In Tucson, Arizona, I'm having a stand-up show and a screening of my short film Loner. That show's in Tucson, Arizona, January 28th. Makes a great holiday gift. And if you're close to Tucson, it's a Saturday night. You can make a weekend out of it. And if you're in Tucson, I can't wait to see you. You can get tickets at ronplacone.com. If you use the promo code Lucy at checkout, you get money off your tickets. There's an early bird special, so don't wait. Get your tickets now. Makes a great holiday gift, and I can't wait to see you there. February 10th, Los Angeles, California, at the Glendale Room. That is my first show of a 3-show residency where I'll be doing my new hour to take to Edinburgh later in the year. February 17th and 18th, I'll be in San Diego, California. April 14th, Los Angeles again. May 12th, Los Angeles for the third show. The Los Angeles residency is February 10th, April 14th, and May 12th. You can get all those tickets now and more information because the San Diego shows are actually free. You can get more information now at and tickets at ronplacone.com. ronplacone.com. Oh, and one more thing. Venetia David, what's up? Thank you so much for the super chat contribution. You help keep this show on the air. And thank you for bringing this up because I wanted to mention this. I'm just joining Mastodon now. Lucy looks so cute. Thank you so much for that. There is a nice picture of Lucy on Mastodon. And yeah, one of the things I meant to mention before we got off the Twitter beat was that I'm on Mastodon. Now, I don't plan on leaving Twitter. I'm going to see what happens. If Twitter goes down like MySpace, obviously I won't be on it anymore. But until then, I'm going to stick around, see what happens. But Twitter, I do want a backup plan. I recently joined Mastodon. It is Mastodon. You can find me. I'm just at Ron Placone, and I'm on the server that I'm on is Mastodon Green. So at Ron Placone, Mastodon Green. I don't quite understand the server thing completely. Like, you have to sign up on a server, but it doesn't really matter which one because they're all connected and you can still just find anyone. And I saw a bunch of servers and I joined Mastodon Green because that seemed to make the most sense out of the options I was given. But apparently Mastodon Green might not be meant for people in the US. I thought it was open to anyone, but it might not be. So I don't know. I might be switching servers, but if you do switch servers, it's still the same. Like, people can still find you the same. So anyway, I'm at Ron Placone on Mastodon. Please do follow me over there and let's connect. Venetia, I look forward to connecting with you on Mastodon. And I'm glad you got on it. I hope you're enjoying it. I dig it. Mastodon, I've only been on it for a day. I don't quite know what I'm doing. I still don't fully understand the server thing, but there's people that will help you. Like there's Mastodon helpers on Twitter. You can ask them questions. And so far, it's a really cool platform. I recommend it. So right now, I'm on Mastodon. We'll see how that goes. And so you can follow me over there. There you go. So yeah, Mastodon. I'm at Romplacone there. And of course, you can still follow me on Twitter at Romplacone. I'm still there. And romplacone.com for all those tour dates. And if you want to support the show on the sustainability and patreon.com/Romplacone for a give what you can level, you get the replay of all the patron streams. There's patron Zoom shows. I'll make you a theme song, makes a great holiday gift. And you can watch my short film Loner right away. And you can see my performance as Lucian the Satirist, which you're not going to be able to see unless you catch a fare, which, by the way, I'll reiterate, if you missed the beginning of the stream, Lucian booked his first fare next weekend. Lucian the Satirist, my historical interpretation, will be at the Kearney Renaissance Fair in Fresno, California, November 12th and 13th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. I'll be doing 3 performances a day. So just come to the Renaissance Fair, look for Lucian the Satirist. That's where you'll find me. Got 3 performances a day. So Lucian booked his first fare. I'm real excited to report that. Some of you guys have been following along as I launched that project. Some of y'all might have even been at the show in San Pedro. Booked my first fare. So, and hopefully Lucian's going to be doing more Ren fairs throughout 2023. I didn't expect to get my first fare until 2023. So the fact that we already got one and 2022 is not over, I'm freaking thrilled. So yeah. So thank you very much for bringing up Mastodon, Venetia, David. And yeah, for anyone in the Fresno area, come check me out next weekend at the Kearney Renaissance Fair. And in the meantime, you know the drill. Oh, by the way, so because I got the Ren Fair, we're not going to be doing this on Sunday next weekend. So I'll be picking a different Get Your News On With Ron day. And for those of you who are tuning in right now, hop over to Status Quo. I'll be joining their election stream shortly. And for those of you checking out the podcast later, podcast will drop on a different day next week because I'll be doing the fair. But, you know, it'll be around the same time. I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, you know the drill. Lucy, she says meow. And I say peace, love, and a general strike.